Shalom, Kol Halal La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, which means all praises to Yahweh, which is the true name of the Heavenly Father, who you people in the world ignorantly call God, by Hashem, and the name of Yahushua, which is the name of the only begotten Son, who you people in the world ignorantly call Jesus Christ. Once again, the true names of Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son is Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. Also, shalom to you, Akim, you brothers that's pushing and spreading this word throughout the four corners of the earth, who's also uplifting the names Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Also, shalom to the Israelite foreigners out there, the speckled bird, man, woman, and child, whose bloodline traces back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, all forefathers, though you may look like the heathen nations you're scattered amongst. Which, as you see on this chart, the heathen nations of the nations starting from 2 on down, those are the heathen nations. Also, if your bloodline, your lineage goes back to these people, as you see on this chart, through the man, and if his spirit bear witness with this word, this truth, and you can receive it to the speckled bird, man, woman, and child, if this does apply, okay, you are Israelites, though you may look like the other nations due to the scattering of these people on this chart. So once again, you will have Israelites that look like the other nations, but they're Israelites because they're under curses of Deuteronomy 28 to 15 verse on down. The spirit bear witness with this word, this truth, that they're the sons and daughters of Yahweh by Shemel Shah. And most importantly, once again, their lineage goes back to these people through the man. Okay? To the few Aquafas, you sisters that do listen and learn, Shalom. To the elect of the nation of Israel, whoever may be scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, who this word is going out to, Shalom to you as well. To you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you combine, consist, and make up the 12 tribes of Israel. You are the Hebrew Israelites, the chosen people of the Most High Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, who you even call Jesus Christ once again, Yahweh Shah. I'm gonna do this, real quick video while I'm at, the job, but so I'm gonna just get to the video. So,
hello again, everybody. I'm Rick Sanchez. To all of you watching from all over the world, either on regular TV or on portable TV, we're so glad that you're there. Let's start with this. Today, for the very first time in a very long time, we are witnessing what appears to be a serious conflict in this coveted relationship between the United States and Saudi Arabia. Let's do this. Let's go to the map because I want to try and set this scene for you. So because I think this is one of those stories that if you can visualize it, you can better understand it. So we've told you about all the different incidents that have been taking place here in the Persian Gulf over the last several weeks. Right? How volatile this region right here has become of late. It's almost like, think of it this way. It's like this area here is like a line of demarcation between two countries that hate each other's guts. They despise each other, right? So here's Saudi Arabia on this side of the Persian Gulf, right? Saudi Arabia, which needs the United States protection here in the Gulf, which it offers, which also needs the United States protection here in Yemen, where it's fighting a war, right? Now let me show you the adversaries, the other side, right? Here's Iran, as you can see right there, which supports the factions in Yemen that are at war with Saudi Arabia. And also, what can we say about Iran? Well, they want dominion of this area of the Persian Gulf and are trying to establish it with its navy. So both Iran and Saudi Arabia, right? You have Iran and Saudi Arabia fighting for hegemony in this region. They both want to say, we're the boss, we're controlling this situation. But something happened last year. Something that began to alter this a little bit. And let me show you another map so we can capture what we're talking about here. Bring that in if you can, Kevin. All right, here it is. It's these two dots, essentially, right here. See these two locations that are not far from Riyadh? Back last September of last year, there was a bold attack. I mean, they hit them hard. These are the famous Aramco oil fields in Saudi Arabia. One of them occurred right here. This is called, and I'll try pronouncing it, but it's Bukyuk, right here in this region. And the other one occurred here in the region known as Kurais. Those are two big, giant, major oil fields. They knocked out oil production for more than 2 weeks, shut them down. And there's reason to suspect that, who was behind it? Iran. Right? Iran behind the attack. So what happened? Saudi Arabia turns to the United States after this incident and they say, please help us. United States. So the United States sent them several batteries of Patriot missiles and 2 jet fighter squadrons to defend these particular oil fields. So guess what happened within the past week? The United States says to Saudi Arabia, sorry, Charlie, we're going to take those Patriot missiles and the fighter squadrons back. You're on your own. Because the Saudis were still producing and shipping out too much oil, causing the price of U.S. crude to tank, and all the businesses here were complaining to the White House. The White House picks up the phone. They threaten Saudi Arabia, essentially telling them, look, you either stop producing or you're going to lose the protection that we're giving you. And then the White House did it. It wasn't just a threat. President Trump pulled the protection. So now, guess what Saudi Arabia does? Guess what they've just done? They just announced that they're going to reduce their output of oil again by another 1 million barrels a day.
So there it is. You see, he just went into it. He broke it down, man. Okay? America, this America being, real quick. America's been, real, tacky and butthurt over certain things, So you see how they get down, okay? This is Isaiah 26. Right? Isaiah 26:10 says, let favor be showed to the wicked, which the wicked, according to Malachi 1:4, is the Edomites, the so-proclaimed white man, I'm at the gig right now, right? It says, let favor be showed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and not behold the majesty of the Lord, man. Because this man is he does not, you can't deal with him. His spirit is not upright in him, man. Okay? He just left them Saudi Arabia, those Arabians over there, Saudi Arabia on their own, man. In the middle of a battlefield, man. Because you seen Yemen, Iran. You see mostly in that region right there, they all hate them Saudis, and America just left them out, dry, man. All because basically they didn't get their way, So that's what he is. He deals unjustly, okay? And actually, you know what? I'm getting another scripture. That's messed up, but it is what it is, It's prophecy that that's going to, take place. The house being divided against itself, a house that is divided against itself cannot stand. That's what's happening. All right. Let me see. Sirach. I believe Sirach is 6. Let me see. Yep. This is Sirach. I started Sirach with 6 and 5. It says, sweet language will multiply friends. Okay, and a fair speaking tongue will increase kind greetings. When he saw, America goes into these other countries, that's what the first thing they do. They try to talk you, with them words, they try to, get you, caught up in their net, man. They try to, first they say, well, if you do this for us, if you do this for, if you give us this amount of oil, right, for example, we'll give you this protection. We'll protect you. Just like they was doing with the Saudis. Okay, it was being protected by the United States. Okay? But now that Saudi, basically Saudi Arabia, they was doing, some behind the doors deals like he was playing in that video. Now America's like, you know what? Since you want to do that, just pull back our military, pull back the security. That's what they did. But be in peace with many, nevertheless have. Let me see. Let me go down. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna keep reading. It says, be in peace with many, nevertheless have but one counselor of 1,000. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. And these other nations, they did that with America. They was so quick, to jump for America, quick to claim America as an ally, not knowing the true intent of America, man. It says now, I believe it's Ezekiel the 28th chapter, how he, through his knowledge, through his wisdom, he have gathered many riches. And how he do that? He basically scammed a lot of these nations, man. First and foremost, that petrodollar, man. That's one of the major scams, Things like the Red Cross, You know, let me see. What else? It slipped my mind. You know, you got the Red Cross. America is so-called, you know, when you got a country that's in shambles, which America's behind it, you know, they'll sit there and say, well, we got to go over there and protect them. And really, they're over there for their own purpose, their own belly, to fill their own belly. You know, it says, for some man is a friend for his own occasion, right? And will not abide in the day of thy trouble. Because America's in trouble right now. America's in debt. The economy's collapsing. You know, the people are divided. You know, then you got all these nations that they're now making backdoor deals, you know, for themselves. So America's, you know, just cutting off all ties to these nations. If they was, you know, supplying security, they're cutting that off. If they were supplying certain goods, which America don't really, you know, supply them any things. It don't manufacture really anything. You know, they cut that off. You know, you had Trump with the EU nations on how Trump saying how the EU nations and China, how they were you know, they was, you know, setting America up. What did he say? He said it was setting America up. They was taking advantage of America throughout the years. That's what he's doing. Okay, he's basically crying that's not fair. You know, when this whole entire time you've, you know, raped, robbed, and murdered throughout the whole world. Okay, really, it's the nations that should be crying that. But let me keep reading. It says, and there's a friend who being turned to enmity, and strife will discover thy reproach. Again, some friend is a companion at the table, right? Because all these heathen nations are in bed with America, man. They committed fornication with the whore, man. Okay, now they find out that America is that whore, man. You can't deal with this whore, man. So, they what? They leaving it, you know? And will not continue in the day of thy affliction, you know? When in thy prosperity he will be as thyself, and will be whole and be bold over thy servants. Because really, you other heathen nations, just servants of Esau as well. It's you just got more, you know, when it comes to the Israelites, the tribes, you got more of a power, you know, when it compared to the Israelites, you know. If thou be brought low, he will be against thee. He will hide himself from thy face. So that's what he just did, you know. That's exactly what he just did, you know. But it's going to backfire on America, because you just say they just decreased, you know. Let me go back to the video. I want to get what he said real quick. He just said it right there, so let me zoom back.
So now, guess what Saudi Arabia does? Guess what they've just done? They just announced that they're going to reduce their output of oil again by another 1 million barrels a day. See? Right? So essentially, as I lay out this scenario for you, you have to ask yourself, who's the winner in all of this and who's the loser? Well, the winner in all of this, say Middle East experts, is Iran, interestingly enough. While they're also saying...
And that's another key thing, you know? Let me get the scripture real quick. So it's a tick for tack thing going on now. And now it's everybody for themselves, you know? If you ever seen that movie, Reservoir Dog, I believe it's called. It came out in the year 92. You had them dudes, they was robbing banks. And that one dude, he was a plant. Okay? And at the end, I'm pretty sure if you see that movie, if you haven't seen it, go see it. You'll see what I'm talking about. But at the end, they found out that the dude, the father, he said, look, that dude, right, somebody, because everything that they were doing, you know, the cops is already on their case. So they saying, look, that dude right there is a cop. And they all was divided against each other. Then what ended up happening is they shot each other, and the dude turned out to actually be a cop, you know? So that's what you're starting to see with these nations. They're starting to turn, it's starting to be that type of scenario. This is Isaiah 33:1 says, woe to thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled, and dealt treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. You know? Speaking of America, man. America has been the most treacherous, you know, country on the planet Earth, man. And that's just being found out, man. Okay? All these treaties that you made with these nations, and you don't even abide to the rules of your own treaties. But the other nations, when they do that, it's a problem, you know? When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee, man. And that's what's happening. And it started with them with that $1 million, cutting down the $1 million, $1 million a barrel of oil a day, man. It's going to get worse. And really, he said the winner is Iran. And he's right. Because, look, If you go to Second Esdras, because what's going to end up happening is, you know, all America is doing is creating more and more enemies. You're just making more and more enemies, and your own allies is becoming your enemies if they're not already your enemies. But if you go into Second Esdras, the 15th chapter, let me see, and 46, I believe. Not 46. Nope, I think it's 30. Oops. 35 or 36. Hold on. Let me type dragon in. Yep, I had skipped it. That was the right chapter. This is not Isaiah, Second Esdras, right? And 15, Second Esdras 15:28 says, "Behold, in horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots." You know, they're going into what? Their military, the tanks, Humvees, the fighter jets, all that, And the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also the Carmanians, which that's Iran, Elam as well, East, so-called East Indians, but Iran most importantly, okay? The Persians, says also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wind, as the wild boar. And if you, like I said, if you picking with a wild boar, right, it's going to flee from you. But if it's backed into a corner and you still, you still trying to harm it, what's it going to do? It's going to fight back. And when it fight back, it's going to go all out. That's how Iran is, man. Because see, what America was doing before that the Soleimani killing of that top general, he was a well-known general within Iran, so known for fighting terrorists that America was, funding, before they did that strike, Iran and America was already beefing with each other because America pulled out that nuclear deal, the 2015 nuclear deal act, and from there it just got worse. The relationship between Iran and America got worse. Okay, because America wants to conquer over Iran, to conquer that region, So ever since then, they've been sanctioning the hell out of Iran, then the killing of Soleimani, So they're gonna be like a wild boar. So during that time, they was just talking rhetoric. Well, if America don't stop, doing, slapping sanctions on us, we're gonna take action. It was that for a while, but when they killed Soleimani, okay, what happened? Iran started striking their bases, and they're still doing it. They're just not reporting it on the news. America don't want you to see that the how weak they've gotten, because decades and decades ago, if any country would have struck America, America would have went straight after them. But that's not the case anymore, because the Lord has broken the scepter of the wicked rulers, man. That's what's happening. Isaiah the 14th chapter. Let me read it again. Also the Carmanians raising their wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join in battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. And the modern Assyrians is Esau either, man. Okay? That's who the modern Assyrians is. And that's what's gonna happen. Them Arabians, they're gonna just join with the rest of the nations that dislike this country, man. Your allies are gonna join, your so-called allies, Salakia, they gonna join up with each other to destroy the whore, man. Okay? The judgment of the great whore, man. Like it says in Revelations, the 17th chapter. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them. Okay? Then these shall be troubled, bled, and kept silence through their power, and shall flee. And from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them, right? And consume some of them, and their host shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings, man. So this is what they're going to do, okay? They're going to team up together, man. And then eventually, because that's going to be in World War III, eventually, I'm going to end it with this, right? Revelation 17 and 16 It says in the 10 horns, which that's the EU nations, which thou sawest upon the beast, NATO, these shall hate the whore, and that's what's happening. Your allies are hating you, man. The scripture, Obadiah 1 and let me get that right quick, and then I'm gonna get that. Let me get that. The book of Obadiah goes into basically the whole entire judgment of the Edomites, man. Okay? Obadiah 1 and 2. Actually 1. The vision of Obadiah, thus said the Lord Yahweh concerning Edom. Okay, you Edomites, so-called white people. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye and let us rise up against her in battle. That's what they eventually going to do. Okay? But I have made thee small among the heathen, and thou art greatly despised, man. These nations hate you, man. Okay? They can't stand America. They're just putting up with America's shit until, America completely, is falling, man. Which is happening right now on all levels. I'm going to read this. This is Revelation 17:16. The 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Why? Because they're going to shoot them arrows, which them arrows is synonymous for the missiles, man. They're going to all be shot from these heathen nations, including America's allies, and they're going to hit their target, which is America, man. And America's going to be burnt up, man. It's going to take 1 hour, and 1 hour is thy judgment come, like it says in the book of Revelations, man. It's only going to take 1 hour for the missiles to completely cleanse this America off the map, man. Because that's what fire really is a cleansing agent. All this is going to be done away with. This is going to be unrecognizable, just like Sodom and Gomorrah, And who was behind it? The 17th verse. For Yahweh had put in their hearts, their minds, to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. Okay? So, there it is. Okay? This is what's playing out before your face. America's economy is collapsing, the people are divided, and now you got the allies breaking apart from America. Okay? So this is all, disaster for Esau Edom, man. This is all, at the wrong time, for Esau Edom, but it's a perfect time for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua and his elect, So, that's it. Call hello la Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Baba Gashah, Baba Bo, Baba Bo, Abaha Yabia, and Shalom to the elect.